council meeting for September 23rd, 2025 to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor Moore.
Here.
Ms. Walker. Here. Mr. Warner.
Here.
Ms. Hudson.
Here.
Mr. Reed.
Here.
Ms. Kearney.
Here.
Mr. Halter.
Here.
Okay, we have a prayer by Maria Walter.
Dear Lord, we thank you for the men and women in our armed forces who work to protect our country. Please keep them safe as they carry out their duties. Also protect our police force and our fire department men that also are in danger every time they go out to work. Being away from home is hard on them, and we ask that you give them strength and courage. Bring them back to us safe and sound. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And the American Legion is going to lead us in the
Okay.
pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like Mr. Jim Garner to please join me down here.
And Tony.
And Tony. He's already down here. He has to come a long way.
Good to see you. There's a little check from the Sons for you for the Veterans Path and for the memorial. And I talked to you a few weeks ago, Chief, and there was some money for your radios.
It's like Christmas every month when you guys come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We're doing good things, and we want to continue.
Thanks.
Everybody
Thank you
have a
so
good
much.
day.
We appreciate you.
The Legion has been doing good things for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, approval of the minutes of the previous council meeting of August 26, 2023. And if there are no corrections,
No corrections, sir.
minutes stand approved. Okay, no proclamations. We have public presentations. First one is Lisa Knack, from the chair of the Greenhills America 250 Committee.
Yeah, I didn't have the privilege of serving the country in that format. So, first, thank you for your time. Thank you, Council and Mayor, and those of you who are here in the audience, and the folks that'll watch this later. Again, I'm Lisa Knack. I have taken on the task of helping to steer the America 250 celebration that we will experience next year when our country turns 250 years old. I had sent the council members and clerk a copy, a draft of the brochure, which you'll be able to follow some of that along as I talk about the events. So the village has identified 4 events that will occur in conjunction with America 250. And it'll be the community picnic, which we have set the date Saturday, June 27th, 2026. The time and place is yet to be determined. And then also we will be hopefully dedicating the Greenhills Veterans Memorial. That will be at Town Park, and again, that time is to be determined, date and time. The Jeff Cavode Memorial Pavilion dedication, also at the Town Park. That time and date will also be determined. And then a Town Park ribbon cutting, time to be determined. So where we're at as a committee right now is the planning teams are being identified for each of those events, so that we can spread the wealth. Event research and information gathering is going on to help set the foundation, so when a brave soul does step up to run an event, that I can hand them a folder and they can hit the ground running. So I'll provide them some air cover. And again, as I mentioned, some of the dates have been identified, and there's fundraising underway for 2 events. And my suspicion is the path of Jeff Cavode's Memorial Pavilion is probably in the lead. So I'll let Jim say a little bit more about that. We also have some exciting community partnerships that we've already established, and we certainly will be continuing to invite more folks to the table. The Greenhills Historical Society has, the board has voted and approved that they will get involved with the celebration, and they will be doing an oral history project and historical presentations. More to follow. They've just approved that, so they're still out there planning. And Diana Kohler has also, who is the president of the society, has also volunteered to step onto the steering committee. So it's always nice to have another pair of hands and someone who also has a historical, no pun intended, historical perspective on the community. And then, of course, the American Legion has been incredibly generous, both donations, and they will also be involved in two ceremonies, one which will be a groundbreaking that I'll talk about in a minute, and then the overall dedication of the memorial. And Maria is working with me on that along with the Legion. And then the family and friends of Jeff Cavode, they are in heavy fundraising mode right now, and Jim is the chair. Did you want to say anything about, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yes.
So the town park, people scratch their heads sometimes and wonder where that came from. Well, it wasn't just pulled out of the air. It was originally identified on the original plans for the village as town park, that area. And then eventually, of course, it became the Greenhills golf course for a number of years. And now it is, we're restoring it and converting it into what will eventually be an incredible park. It's beautiful now just with the path. I forgot how, it's been a long time since I played golf back there, but it is just an incredible piece of property and a nice little jewel. So what'll happen is the intention always was to hold a survey with the community and solicit names for that park. So it'll probably be 2 phases. I am working on a survey that I will coordinate with the village manager and the council, of course. On the first one will be to generate names, a call to the community to generate names, as well as some other things. Do they want it to be suggestive of the historic nature of the community? Of course, we're a historical landmark. Do they want it to reflect the green belt? So are there characteristics that they want to make sure that the name will capture? And then the second phase will, from all those submissions, we'll be able to figure out who. My guess is we'll probably have a clear 5 to 10 that rise to the top, and we'll put those names back out and let the community vote, and majority wins. So that's where we're at with that. I do need, the brochure that I had sent, I do need approval on this. I've already gotten one edit, a good suggestion for an edit, so if you have any others, and you're going to have to let me know what the process is. The sooner we have this, the better. So I don't know if you're in a position to approve this now, or we need to wait till the next meeting. I hope not. So the dates that are quickly approaching, and these are all on the village calendar. I've actually asked to have a volunteer booth at the Harvest Fest, so I'm excited about that. And I want to touch base with some of the other volunteer organizations to see if they'd also like to share that table with me and some of the time. So I've got some phone calls to make. And of course, that's Saturday, October 25th. And then the steering committee of the America 250 committee meets this coming Saturday at 10:30 to 11:30 here in this building. It'll be really focused on introductions, information, kind of the big picture, what I just shared with you, and hopefully we'll be able to get into some planning, next steps and assignments. So we'll walk away with some marching orders. And then the third event that is already on the calendar is the Greenhills Memorial, the Veterans Memorial groundbreaking, which will be Tuesday, November 11th, Veterans Day at Town Park, around 11:30. It'll follow the Shadow Pole celebration that's been, I don't know how long that tradition's been going on. So, questions, comments? Okay,
No,
next.
It looks good, so I appreciate your hard work
Yeah,
on that.
so the next thing on top of the brochure approval, I'm going to be coming to you to scratch into your minds and start suggesting some folks I need to tap to see if they'll volunteer. So again, thank you. I'm excited about this, and the folks that I talked to are excited. I think it's going to be an incredible community building opportunity for all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Lisa, I got a call back from Washington, D.C. Our congressman will be involved in the D.C. celebrations or memorials or whatever you want to call it, marches in Arlington, and he will not be able to be here. I haven't received a word back from our local senator. I also told them the projected date of the summer in June for that, and they said that they could work with that a little bit better, so they can just pre-plan for him to be whatever he can be at that time close to be here at the time.
Okay.
I also ordered the shovels, so we are waiting for that. And may I make a suggestion, that's what I did at some other place, that we did the shovel, the dirt, opening the dirt. Certain people might be of age of wisdom, so to speak, and what they did is they put the dirt in some kind of a deposit, a square or elongated, and then it was a simulated breaking of the ground, so it will not break anybody's back. That's also a suggestion that it was given to me for some, like I said, people of wisdom, of age of wisdom.
Perfect. I will certainly make sure that the maintenance department, as we get closer, knows to help us prepare for that ceremony. Okay.
And I just have a quick question. What do we need to do in order to approve the brochure so it can start to be distributed?
We don't need a motion or anything, council, we just generally
We can just take
tell
their
the
voice.
manager and
Yeah.
Lisa that, yeah. this
So
is
any
good.
comments that people provide over email is fine.
Right.
And I've shared with her a process that her and I can work on to get them printed, so maybe go ready.
Awesome.
So is a green light for that?
We have to look at it.
Yeah,
It
I
came
think,
in yesterday.
I think some of the
so we should
council
look
people
at it.
still need to comment,
Okay.
right? Yes.
Okay. Moving on, Chief Tony Spaeth, Fire Department.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I have a few pieces of information for you all this evening, so I'll get started right now. First of all, anniversaries on the fire department for September are Logan Bartels with 2 years, Kimberly Bain and Charlie Volan with 6 years, Joe Meister with 18, and as I hinted last month, Oscar Hoffman at 49 years. So, round of applause for those guys. I want to share some statistics with you, months to date through September. So thus far, we've had 16 fire dispatches and 27 EMS calls for a grand total of 43. Out of the 27 EMS details, mutual aid was only used one time, and that was because we had 2 EMS runs at the same time, so we had to call upon Force Part to come in. So we have not missed one run since September 1st.
All right.
Not one. So we're very, very proud of that. So that one EMS detail where mutual aid was utilized to transport, our first responder unit was actually able to go a few minutes later and join with them to help with patient care. But one run out of 27, that's 3.7%. Last year in September, we had 25 EMS details, and 5 of them were made by mutual aid, so that's 20%. That's a 16.3% improvement. Pretty impressive. For our fire details, we've had, out of the 16, 9 of those calls were in the village. We were first on the scene on every single one of those. We received mutual aid on the fire side. Let's see. Fire average responses, we gave automatic aid 7 times, and we received automatic twice. On the EMS side, we did not provide any automatic aid, and we received automatic aid 5 times. So what that means is, out of that 27 runs I just told you about, 5 of those details required more ALS care than what we had on duty to provide. So when you have a cardiac arrest, you need at least 2 paramedics. So that's when we call upon mutual aid to come in and assist us. But mutual aid was not needed to transport any of those types of runs in September. So if you add that all up, we gave automatic aid 7 times, and we received automatic aid 7 times, and that's exactly what you want. You give, you receive. And the scale on that in the past has been very lopsided. So we feel very, very good about that. In September of last year, of 2024, our average response time was 5.73 minutes. This September, our average response time was 3.4 minutes. That's a 2.5-minute improvement, or 41%. So this is exactly what we were talking about when we started this process a couple years ago, how that investment was going to reap rewards far greater than what we put into it. So things are going really well right now. It's not easy, but we are doing really, really well. We have a great group of folks. We have 2/3 of the people filling the shifts are people that were already with us, and then we hired 5 or 6 to fill the openings that we had. And then we also have other volunteers that are filling in gaps when people need to have time off or whatever. So that's all working out really, really well. So just wanted to share that with you and let you know that so far it's working. A couple of other notes. Our hydrant servicing is in progress, and we are on target to complete that by the 30th of October. We've only had just a few minor issues so far, so that's always good news because hydrant repairs can be very, very expensive. So far everything's going really, really well there. Last week, Unit 3A crew visited the Winton South campus to talk to students about 9/11, just to share, some history there, and obviously the students, know it as history, and some of our folks know it because we were around when it happened. So that was very, very rewarding. Last week, we did our annual driver's training, and this week we're training on search techniques. The other two things I wanted to comment on is the turkey raffle and the basket raffle. So, we have made a couple of changes, and I'd like to share those with you now. So, just to give you a little history, prior to the pandemic, we had the route sales, and Lieutenant Sheets is with me here this evening. She's the chairperson of our turkey raffle, so Julie, thanks for coming. Prior to the pandemic, we had the route sales, where we would go door to door and sell the tickets, and then we had the turkey raffle event at the Legion. Then the pandemic. So the last few years of the turkey raffle at the Legion, we started this basket raffle thing. And the first one, I think we had probably like 10 baskets or something. And then the next, it took off, and the next year we had 10, and the year after that we had probably 30 at the turkey raffle, and did very, very well with it. Well, then the pandemic came, and we had to kind of drop and punt and figure out how are we going to do this. And last year we raffled off how many?
Close to
60. So we were notified by the Ohio Attorney General that fire departments should not be conducting online raffles. So you probably saw the news piece. So it's too late. I mean, we're already planning for this, right? So it's really too late for us to get a legal opinion. We don't believe what we were doing was in violation of anything. We had people bidding on a basket. So we weren't gambling. It's not a raffle. But anyway, the time crunch is not, we had to make a quick decision. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the turkey raffle as we always have, with the exception of the live event on Facebook the Saturday before the turkey raffle. So we're still going to deliver the green tickets and the green envelopes, and we'll be coming door to door and asking folks if they'd like to support us, and we'll raffle off the 75 turkeys like we always have, which is totally legal, and we're allowed to do that. The second thing that we're going to do is the basket raffle. And I met with the village manager. I know she's already posted it on the village website. So what we're going to do is on Saturday, November the 8th, from 1 to 4 at the firehouse, we're going to have an open house / basket raffle. So kind of an open house format. We'll grill some hot dogs. We'll have some tables set up for the kids, some coloring books, activities, that kind of thing. And then we will have all of the raffle baskets on display, and we will have the silent auction like we always have had. And that's how we're going to do the basket raffle. We're going to do it in person. Then, after both of those events are over, we will evaluate all of that, And then we will make decisions based on the future of both of those events. And then also, we'll see what kind of activity happens at the state level with this raffle situation, because I'm telling you, it's probably not over. I think there are some entities that are out there that are going to try to, make it to where fire departments and other 501c3 organizations can raise money to run their businesses, right? So that's what we're going to do. Turkey raffle, the green envelopes will start going out October 1st. Is that right? And then we'll do the drawings and we'll post the winners on Facebook. We'll post them on a poster over there at the fire station. And then that'll be the Saturday prior to Thanksgiving. And then on Saturday, November 8th, we'll have our open house basket raffle. 1 to 4, we will stop bidding at 3:30 and we will announce the winners of the baskets at 4 o'clock. Any questions or comments for me? Yes, ma'am.
Sir, congratulations. I heard from the stork that you are a grandfather.
I am.
Oh,
We had our first.
yes.
How did you hear that? Yes,
I'm
thank you.
closer to the ground.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Everybody's doing great. Any other questions or comments?
Tony, I just wanted
Yes.
to, I know that you had concern about hiring and filling those positions. How did that go? It sounds like they're full, but was it like?
So, we didn't have a flood of applications, but the applications that we did have, we had some really good, high-quality folks that came to work for us. The majority of them work at other fire departments, but we also hired some new folks out of the academy that are willing to learn, that were very, very good candidates with their training and so on and so forth. So we have a good mix. We have supervision every day, which is something that was very, very important to me, so that I know that someone's in charge when I'm not able to be there and see these incidents through in the proper fashion. So we are still getting a few applications here and there.
So you still have openings or not?
We have a couple of openings, yeah. Of course, in the fire service, I've got one guy who's off for a month for paternity leave, and then I've got another guy who injured himself at another workplace, so he's going to be off for a minute. So we're filling those shifts with our internal folks who are not working a scheduled shift, but they fill in when we put out the word, hey, we've got an opening on this day at this time, and then they fill in. So far, that's been working out really, really well. We have not had an open shift yet, so hopefully that continues.
Thank you.
Anything else? Appreciate everyone's support. We can't do it without you, and we'll see you here next month, if not before.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, up next, Jennifer Weicker, Greenhills Public Library, Greenhills Branch Public Library.
The Greenhills branch of the Cincinnati Hamilton County Public Library. But your friendly neighborhood librarian. So thanks so much for letting me come and talk to you guys again. I just wanted to give you a few heads up of some exciting stuff that we have going on at the library, along with all of the usual things that we're doing. We're going to have a very interesting presentation tomorrow night at 6 p.m. from the American Sign Museum. They're going to come and do a PowerPoint lecture celebrating their 25th anniversary and kind of highlighting some of their collections and different things that they have there. And also the library does offer something called a Discovery Pass, which is free access to a large number of community organizations, including the Sign Museum. So if you would like to visit the Sign Museum for free using your library card, please come and stop and see me. And we have a number of other ones. I think we just added the Cincinnati Ballet. So always something interesting going on there. But at Greenhills, we will have the lecture tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Also, the Stern Lecture is still happening on September 30th, and there are still tickets available. So two-time Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and best-selling author Nicholas Kristof will speak at 7 p.m. that night. So that is there, and it is not too late to contribute to the Greenhills art project we've got going on right now, where we have small mini canvases that you can decorate at the library, and then we can put it up of what hope means to you, because Mr. Christoph's book that he'll be discussing is Chasing Hope, which is his memoir of reporting from 150 odd countries and other things around the world. So it should be really interesting. And then on Saturday, October 4th, we are going to have a customer appreciation open house. So we're so grateful that everybody is here and lets us be there for them and comes to meet up with us and just make the library a vibrant location. And we'd like to celebrate you all. So we are having an open house all day from 10 until 6. There will be refreshments, there will be activities, there will be library swag, of course, while supplies last. So we certainly hope that people will come, but we have an entire week of activities kind of leading into that. On Monday, we'll have our story times and we'll have our youth drawing club at 4:30. On Tuesday, at the same time as Mr. Christoph, we are also having astronomer Dean Regas come to the library at 6:30, and he's going to give us a tour of the universe using some amazing simulation software. So he's always very exciting, and that's for all ages. For teens, we're going to have picture perfect frame decorating, where I've got some unfinished wood picture frames, so we'll have all the art craft supplies out so you can decorate those. And then on that same night, October 1st at 6:30, we will have Recycling 101 for adults, so another lecture for folk to come and what you should send to Rumpke, what you shouldn't, and just all of that kind of information. And then on Thursday, we're going to have a special concert at 10:30 a.m., which is Heroic Harmonies, a PB&J Jam concert presented by Linton Chamber Music, and that is for all ages, so everyone is welcome to that as well. And then Friday, we are taking a small break to catch and get everything set up for the open house on Saturday. So we're really hoping that everybody will join us from the community and let us celebrate you all just a little bit, as well as, of course, our usual whole slate of October programs. And we have our Secrets of Spice, and we're going to have a craft program for kids, bootiful birdhouses, where you can decorate some wooden birdhouses that we have available, and that'll be on Thursday, October 16th at 2 p.m. I know it sounds weird, but that's fall break, so we're hoping that we'll give the kiddos something to do. But we do have limited supplies, so we do ask that you sign up for that one. And then we're going to have our Music to Grow On music story time on Friday, October 17th at 10:30 a.m. Our Mystery Book Club, Potion Bottles for Teens, a Not So Spooky story time on Friday, October 31st at 10:30 a.m. for kids. So lots of fun stuff. And thanks for letting me share with all of you. Any questions or?
So all those dates are on the website?
They are all on the website. You can also give me a call, and we will be more than happy to rattle all of them off and make sure that you're signed up and explain anything of any timing that people have questions about. Yes.
And thank you for the pens. I told my daughter about it, and I believe there might have been an insurgence of preteens that
Yes.
came up and are now making pens for 10 cents or however much it is. So
We have our button
Thank you.
maker in 2 sizes, and it's 10 cents a pin. So if you would like to make buttons, please come and see the library, and we can help you out at 10 cents a piece.
yeah, she's wearing them, and she has them on our book bag, and I have to take them off clothing when I do laundry. So yes, thank you.
I'm sorry for any holes in it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have another person, Bill Spielman from Whitten Woods Board of Education.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor and Council and Police Chief, Council Clerk. I introduced myself to you before. My name is Bill Spielman again, and I'm one of the 2 Board of Education representatives to Greenhills. I live in the village. My reason for coming tonight is to invite you to a community engagement program that we are beginning, just started last month. We had our first meeting last month, as I said, and we want to get more participation from both the village of Greenhills and from Springfield Township. I've already invited and talked to Mr. Halter and Police Chief and Yvonne and Maria, and all of them are attending. Our second meeting is tomorrow night, so consider yourselves invited to that meeting. It's tomorrow night at the Forest Park Library at 5:30. If you're interested, please contact them. I don't want to put my personal phone number out there to everybody, but they can put you in contact with me, and I'll get you an invitation from the school district. The program is being led. We brought in a consultant, Jeff Steck, who was our facilitator and leading the discussions. At our first meeting last month, we came up with a number of important topics, which we hope to reduce to 2, 3, or 4 topics, and then really brainstorm. A core group will meet every month over the next 12 to 14 months, and then we'll bring in the community members periodically 6 or 8 times. So it's not a meeting every month, but it will be a number of meetings. So the core group will bring issues forward, but bring them to the larger group for discussion. At the last meeting, we probably had between 25 and 30 people. So trying to solve anything in a group of that many people is difficult, but we really do want feedback from the community. Our purpose is to see what we can do together that we can't do alone to benefit our community. If you're interested, again, Maria and Jeff and even Chief Holworth has my contact information, my phone number and email, and I will get an invitation to anyone that's interested. I understand, I saw in the minutes, Rachel, that you might be the new representative, so if you wish to attend.
I would definitely like an invitation. I can't make it tomorrow. I know I have a schedule conflict, but I can prioritize it.
And I know it's a late meeting. I just was like, I was hoping the council meeting was last weekend.
Yeah, it's okay.
It wasn't. And as I said, our meeting is tomorrow night at 5:30 to 7:30. We are providing supper since it's over that hour. And I think it'll just be a really good time that the board and the leadership of the school district can hear from the community, and there can be discussion about it. And so I wanted to make sure that you all were aware, so it's not like, how comes those people got invited and not me? And currently, Mr. Denny, the superintendent, and our facilities person, Jeremy Day, thank you, and Chief Holworth and myself sit down every 2 months and just share what's going on and talk about that. So if I can be of any help, and I just thank you for letting me have this opportunity to bring up our community engagement. Any questions?
I will say I've worked with Jeff Steck before, similar stuff, and does a great job.
Yeah, he did an incredible job in our first meeting. We talked in a larger group, and then we break down into groups of 3 or 4, and you'd share what you had, and then we went back to groups of 3 or 4, and it was really a productive 2 hours. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, reports municipal officials. Yvonne Kovac, municipal manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start with the legislation. We have some important items on tonight, and actually, if I could defer to Jeff Forbes to review the changes that we're making to our current dog code. So, is that okay?
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay. You'll see in your packet that there's an ordinance on the agenda, and it has an exhibit which details the changes. Essentially, this is everything that we talked about at the work session. There was one question that came from the work session about requiring muzzling of dogs at a certain point, and I did look into that, and you'll see that we made that change as well to make that once a dog has been declared a dangerous dog, we're going to require that it, instead of it just being an option to muzzle, we're going to make that a requirement. But essentially what you'll see, and for the public, the first change is in 505.01. And really, this is just adding some language that clarifies that, that if you violate any of the provisions of this, that you may also be liable for damages that are associated with that violation. 505.021, that's the section where we made the change to require the muzzling instead of making it one of the options. 505.0211, we increased the level of penalty. For a first offense, instead of it being a 4th degree misdemeanor, it's elevated to a 2nd degree misdemeanor. And for a subsequent offense, it goes from instead of a 3rd degree misdemeanor to a 1st degree misdemeanor. And also clarified that if there are any other costs associated with that, that the costs are a responsibility of the violator. And then in 505.023, this was really just modernizing the language and clarifying, instead of saying a first offense for certain things is $25 to $100, we just clarified that that was a minor misdemeanor. And right now, a minor misdemeanor is higher than $100. So we clarified that. Same with the subsequent offense, just clarified that it would be a 4th degree misdemeanor. That way you don't have to change the dollar amount if the state law changes with respect to levels of misdemeanors. So those were the changes that were discussed at the work session, and that's what's being presented tonight.
If I remember right, I think you had mentioned that we couldn't change like a misdemeanor to a felony.
Correct.
It had to remain a misdemeanor.
Correct. Yep.
Under state law.
Yes.
Okay, so that is on tonight. We did not put an emergency clause on it, but if you so desire, council, you could do that. And I guess we can have more questions at the time if you would like, when the legislation is read. So then going on to the first resolution, that actually was an ordinance, I'm sorry, I think I called it a resolution. The first resolution is accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission. This is an item that we do every year. What this is not a new levy. The Budget Commission, and Deb, you jump in anytime, they every year determine what each of our levies will generate, and they send those documents to us strictly for review and approval. Then we send it back to them. It's a formality. Anything more to say about that, do you think? Or is that...
Well, we initially start off with our tax budget that we do at the beginning of the summer, as everyone knows. And from that is sent down to the Hamilton County Budget Commission. And they work on our numbers. They have certain rates depending on a whole list of criteria, and they come up with our revenue stream. So it is not as Yvonne said, it's nothing that has to do with the new taxes or anything. They generate our revenue streams for our budget for the following year. So now we know what our tax settlements will be and revenue streams that we can budget from that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next resolution is, these are more assessments. We actually seem to have had quite a bit recently, but that's pretty standard for either grass cutting or garbage removal, possibly, that are then put on as liens on property tax bills. And then the final item, resolution, is an approval. This is rather generic in nature, but it's so that, and we did just get our approval. It's actually a line of credit that we're going to be receiving. We just found that out around 6:30 this evening, right before a meeting. So there is now an approval for that. This is allowing me to execute any agreements associated with getting the financing. We're doing a letter of credit. We're not sure how much money we'll draw down. The bid was $471, but in addition to that, we were doing HVAC units, so we have asked for a total of $600. We hope to not spend that, but that's the amount that will be available to us. So we have a meeting first thing in the morning on all the details of it, but this will allow us to proceed. And the renovation project has started, so that's good news too. I do have a couple of things I do want to mention. We have heard a lot the past few weeks, and I know we've all lived through this and had a lot of frustrations associated with the Greater Cincinnati Water Works and the water mains that ran and ran and ran, and it was sickening, very much so. Some of our roads are have damage, and Waterworks is putting together a plan to correct the road work, and I'm sure we'll have something to say about that. Mr. Forbes, probably get you involved in this because they're not the easiest to work with at all. It's been a very frustrating situation. Just getting them out here to clean was not very good. We have to kind of stay tuned on this whole thing. Right now, we have a really major pothole developing on Winton Road, just south of Sharon. You've probably seen it by now. Originally, they came out, I think we first called that in, like, I want to say it was either the 10th or the 15th of the month, and pretty much every day since then. They were supposed to be here already. I didn't see them before this meeting, but they kind of tried to cap it and then went away for a while, and now it's just sinking and swelling up. You might have seen it originally when it was running pretty quickly, so now you have to wonder where that water's running, probably under the road. Anyway, it's just an all-around frustrating situation to be dealing with, but we hope to bring it all to a good conclusion at some point in time. In the meantime, if you have issues with the pothole, we are asking that you call Waterworks. We have no authority to go dig up their lines and do anything with it, so that's where we are.
Yvonne, if I could ask a question?
Yes.
At what point do we actually take traffic around something like that?
I guess we could if they don't show up, and we probably should because it might break in. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, it's a really busy area, but it's getting worse every day.
So that decision would have to come from you, and then?
Right, we would do it.
Okay.
And if they have someone that has a problem with a broken wheel or the tire, lost the tire totally because of that, who do they go to?
They should go to Waterworks.
The Waterworks?
Yeah, yes. I put their numbers out on Facebook this morning.
Okay.
So, yeah, unfortunate situation. Anyway, we'll go to something a little bit more positive, the park pathway. And thank you for the compliments for the park. It really is looking pretty. We had an issue with the type of gravel, which they have since removed, and they are replacing it with what the specs actually called for. So we're pretty excited to see that nearing completion, and all the neat things that await that park should be pretty beautiful. I did mention that renovation has started on the Malloy's building. We have our money lined up, so we're good to go on that project. So I'll stop there.
Can I, also another question on, because I've walked a couple times the park path, and I was a little bit surprised at the gravel earlier.
Yes.
That's a pretty big miss to put the wrong gravel down.
Yeah.
And they're taking care of that fully?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
It was clearly in the specs. We don't know what happened there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, they are. They're actually being really good about it.
Okay, good.
So that's good.
And just a reminder on the timeline for both the Malloy's renovation and when the new tenant will get in.
Should be early December. We were hoping December 1st. That just depends on what they find as they work on the building, but hopefully it'll go well. We seem to have a really good contractor.
And just as a reminder, even though the renovations will cost money, we do have a tenant that will be bringing money in as well.
Correct. And we'll be paying for the money we borrow, not from the taxpayers. We'll be paying for it from the lease proceeds.
And our contract with them is for how long?
For the construction project?
No,
Yeah,
no,
for
for
the tenant.
5 years with
5
two
years.
5-year renewals, so
Okay.
total of 15 years.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on, Law Director.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing new to report. If you have any questions about the legislation, we can answer those or address them when that comes up.
I had a couple of questions. You mentioned that we need to go back in order to make sure that the description of the planning commission and the recreation was taken care of, because there was some overlapping of the same thing that it was not
It was
supposed to be.
That was a printing error
Right,
from
and
the
it's- yeah,
company, and
corrected.
we've already met with them,
Yeah.
that's underway.
Okay, and then the second question that I have, that I mentioned to you, was the Recreation Commission that is in the charter, and it was reduced of 7 members to 5 at the time of the revision of the charter, and then it went null and void, so to speak, when we had the pandemic. So we need to do something to revive that, because it's supposed to be some kind of counseling about the recreation to the council, to bring it to council. We have in the Harvest Fest, we have in all of that, we don't have that Recreation Commission in effect. What do you think that we should do about it?
Mr. Forbes, can I speak on that? So actually, Maria, that's my committee.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you would have brought that to me, then you would know that it's something that we've already talked about.
Okay.
We are in the process of getting that started back up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Great, moving on, Clerk of Council, Teresa Lawley.
Nothing tonight.
All right. Chief of Police, Jim Howarth.
Thank you, Mayor. Just an update, really don't have a whole lot, but I'm sure everybody heard about the aggravated robbery we had early morning hours on the 18th. We have not made an arrest at this time, but I can say I'm happy with the progress that we're making towards an arrest. So hopefully we'll get there. I will say we worked hard all day and evening that day to come up with some stuff that might lead us to an arrest. So without getting into the details, I just wanted to mention that. I'd also like to mention, probably saw a push for any kind of surveillance video out in the neighborhood, any ring doorbells, anything like that during that time frame. That helps us out. Even if you don't think it's anything, it might be your ring doorbell catching the street with a vehicle coming in. It gives us a vehicle description. So not very often you get vehicles coming into that neighborhood and leaving, 20 minutes later. So that could be a clue. So anything like that. And I'm also in contact with Chief Niehaus, because they just did a real nice program over there as far as we have our registry, as far as registering your surveillance cameras, but they just worked with Cages and came up with a nice program that's no cost to the department or the residents. In actually every neighborhood, when you enter the neighborhood, has a QR code that they can take a picture of the QR code and register their cameras. Goes straight into the system. So I am intrigued about that. When I talked to Chief Niehaus, I'm looking to talk to him and see if that's possibly something that we could do here to make it real simple. So not only this instance, but any kind of instance you see, if you have any kind of ring footage or surveillance cameras you don't mind sharing with us. We don't want access to your cameras. We don't want that. We just want to know you have it. In the event somebody flees one direction, behind your house, whatever, we have a list of people that we can call that we know has cameras in the area. So we appreciate that. Little update on our SRO project. That's going well. It's been a long process. Winton Woods has been great to work with. We're excited that our first part-time police officer that's going to be assigned to a school is going to be starting October 1st. So that's next week, next Wednesday. So that's hard to believe that time's here, that October's here, but she'll be starting October 1st. Keep in mind you won't see her in the school for a couple weeks. She's got a lot of stuff to get up to date here as far as being, because she is a sworn part-time police officer with the Village of Greenhills. Although she will not be assigned anything to patrols, she'll strictly be in the schools during that time frame. If school's in session, she'll be at school. Our second one's starting November 13th. So we'll have both of them on board November 13th. Naturally, by time the second one comes on board November 13th, the first one, Susan, she'll actually already be in the schools. So, and then with Anthony, who's the second one, we'll actually have a little bit of time that we'll have 2 or 3 weeks here in office before we deploy him to the schools. So we're excited about that. I know they're very excited. They both come with a lot of history as far as law enforcement. They're both retired law enforcement officers. One retired in July and one just retired about 30 days ago. So we're excited about them, and I know they're equally excited. Harvest Fest, that'll be here before we know it, October 25th. We'll be there from 12 to 8 with our police cars for the kids to tinker around with. Also from 12 to 3, we'll have the SWAT team, a couple SWAT personnel with the armored vehicle. That's always a big hit, the Bearcat, so that will be there. I guess you can come out and see us. Officer Lenhoff celebrated 9 years. Now he's in his 10th year. He celebrated that on August 15th. So we appreciate everything Officer Lenhoff does for the department. He does serve as an FTO, or field training officer, and also the TASER instructor for the department. So we appreciate his service. Officer Tony A.J. Pope celebrated a year, September 2nd. So that's hard to believe. It's been a year. Very hard to believe. So time's just flying by. It feels like I just started here, and it's been a while. Other than that, just a few August statistics. We took 15 criminal offense reports during the month of August compared to 14 the 3 prior months. Not 14 total the 3 prior months, but 14 each month. So we're about averaging 14, 15 per month. We had 187 incidents that we responded to. We responded to 25 squad runs, fire runs with the fire department, 12 trouble runs, 15 suspicious persons / vehicles, 9 domestic trouble ones, 1 which resulted in the report of a domestic violence. We assisted mutual aid to the parks or Springfield Township Forest Park 13 times. We issued 63 traffic warnings and 43 traffic citations, and we investigated 5 auto accident reports during the month of August. Just to give you a little update to date, through the month of August, we've taken 113 criminal offense reports. That compares to 134 in 2024, so we're down on the criminal offense reports. Mr. Halter, you had mentioned a meeting or two ago about violent offenses and stuff like that, so I kind of dove into that a little bit. Violent offenses, naturally, homicides, robberies, assaults, sexual assaults, domestic violence falls under simple assault, those types of things where they're violent offenses. Keep in mind, we might have one incident that actually is 3 reports, 3 offenses. You could have a domestic violence, a strangulation, and a kidnapping. Okay, so that's 3 offenses, but really it occurred in 1 incident. So with that being said, out of our 113 criminal offense reports so far to date, 29 of them fall under that violent offense. So simple assault from a bar fight to domestic violence to strangulation. And like I said, that's 29 criminal offenses, but if I really dug deeper, that might be 15 incidents because you got multiple offenses from one, if that makes sense. To date, 2024, we were at 30, so we're right there, 1 less this year than last year through August. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you.
So that's all I have, Mayor, unless you have any questions.
Okay. Anybody with a question? All right, moving on. My report, the court receipts, which I already lost here. Oh, yes, there it is. So for the month of August, ending bank balance is $43,590.85. Checks to be issued to the state of Ohio, $902.50. Hamilton County, $34.50. And to the village of Greenhills, $3,091. And that's all I have. Reports of committees, community development, Jim Bonner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to again thank Lisa Knack for the America 250 leadership she's providing. And I just want to emphasize that this is, you know, a lot of times we think about community development being building things like physical structures and building up business, and it is that. But the focus that we have right now with the opportunity with the America 250 celebration is to build our community, our sense of neighborhood, neighborliness, and coming together. So the America 250 celebration has a number of events planned, as Lisa mentioned already, and it is so critical for us to have a strong showing of volunteers. There have been a few residents that have already sent in little questionnaires just so we kind of know what your interest is and your skills that you can bring to the table. And that is so key to the success, is having a number of hands to join us. We have a lot of things we'd like to do. We'd like to have a parade. We'd like, we're already committed to the picnic, for instance, as Lisa mentioned. But it can't happen without the community stepping up and you don't have to lead something, but we need lots of folks who can help do something. And that's what the meeting starting this Saturday that Lisa mentioned will start organizing and putting people into those areas where they would like to join. So if you haven't filled out an application, the one-page questionnaire, that's okay. Come to the meeting this Saturday at the community building so we can identify everybody who's interested, and it'll be in this room, so because we're hoping we'll have a big crowd, so we have enough seats. So again, this is to build community, so we hope to have everybody come out and join us. And if you can't join us this Saturday because of a schedule or other commitment, drop Lisa an email or myself, and just let us know that you would like to be included for future gatherings, because we'll probably meet monthly at this point. And then one other thing I'd just like to mention about the Jeff Cavote Pavilion. So the family and friends of Jeff Cavote have already raised over $13,000 towards the building of a pavilion to replace the old metal golf shack that's in the park today. There's a Facebook page for fundraising. If you weren't aware of that, it's up there. It's still active. The family and friends are planning other activities for future fundraising, so that's out there. Just wanted to make sure that the community is aware, because I know that they're a longtime Greenhills residents. And then lastly, we have a Fall Beautification Award coming up. It's hard to believe it's that time of year. So an announcement's already gone out. We'll be driving around the first 2 weeks of October looking for winners, folks to give that award to. So if you want to nominate your neighbor, let us know, drop us a line, and we'd love to make sure that they're included.
What time?
10:30.
So I have a suggestion. Before in community development, we had quite a bit of participation on cleanup days by students. So just to put it out there that they do need service hours, and if anybody's listening, that's a great way to help out with a parade or something like that, where it's a win-win. They get their service hours, and we get a whole good bunch of volunteers.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All right. Moving on, Recreation Cable Television, Rachel Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have quite a bit of updates. I guess I'll start with, we had a meeting on September 15th, and it was Jack Avon, Mayor Moore, of course, myself, and community member Courtney Fulber that were present. It was a very productive meeting. Some of the things that we went over were the volunteers, Recreation Commission, Harvest Festival, recreation projects, event planning, timelines. We went over budgets, we went over the history of kind of what's the village's lane, what's our lane, and one of our goals is to, one of my goals personally is to just over the next couple years have some tangible items that we can focus on and some projects that we can be transparent and put out to the community, ask for community involvement, ask for community feedback, and then kind of have a plan of action of, hey, we seek to do this in this amount of time. So we can go back a few years from now and be like, this is what we did accomplish. And one of the things that we talked about too, was a very productive meeting, I feel like, was improvements, ways that we could improve. So in talking about the Harvest Fest, a perfect example is we talked about not having a ice cream truck there so that we don't have anybody competing with AK Sweets and just things that make sense, but that sometimes we would overlook and not think about. So it was a very productive meeting. And I think I will, sorry, I'm just thinking of what order to go into. I guess it's a perfect opportunity because we talk about volunteers, and I've received some feedback about when we say come to the council meetings, and coming to the council meetings, us saying that isn't a way of dismissing someone and saying, oh, well, what you have to say isn't important because you're not coming to these 2 council meetings that we have. We understand that everyone is busy, but it is a prime opportunity for us all to be present and here, and for us to be able to have things brought to our attention. So oftentimes, if we're not receiving an email, we don't always know what's going on. Another thing is that we do want to, like Jim touched on, and Lisa, we do want to bridge those gaps, and we do want to have community involvement, and we just want to be a fortified front, if you will. And so there are going to be a lot of opportunities coming up. The 250th is a perfect opportunity, and when you're filling out that volunteer form, even if the 250th doesn't sound like something that's up your alley, it is still important to know, what kind of talent do we have that we're sleeping on in the village. And when we talk about the Recreation Commission and things of that nature, we can't have a commission, no matter how many people need to be in it, if we don't have volunteers. So it's very important to, if you want to be involved, to reach out, or if you think that somebody else would want to be involved. And even filling out that form, you're not committing. You're just letting us know, hey, I have an interest. I'm willing to have a conversation and see if there's anything that I can do. And when you're filling out that form, it's very user-friendly. My sister just did it. And so you can go online and you can access it. You can go up to the village and receive one and turn it in. You can send a copy to any of us on council. You definitely want to get it to the village, though. I don't want to bypass Yvonne with that. But especially if you might be interested in the commission, then you can also email a copy to me at rhudson, that's R-H-U-D as in Delta, S-O-N, at greenhillsohio.com. And just kidding, thank you. .org. So rhudson at greenhillsohio.org. Thank you for that correction. It's also posted on the Facebook page and our website as well. And a perfect example of the things that we can accomplish when people come together is that Courtney had, I'm bringing up my notes that I jotted down on this, but some of the exciting news and just a way that we're able to partner together and get things done is that Courtney Favre is a mom, and she's stood up to run for council, and she also is involved in volunteering in extracurriculars. And she had an idea because she knows about Say Soccer, also known as Soccer Shots, and that they're always looking for places within different communities to be able to provide soccer to the children that are in those areas. And so she had an idea and reached out to me and Yvonne and said, hey, is this something we could possibly do? She did all of the work up front to connect us to the owner, Brittany, and we were able to have a meeting with her, and it went well, and we're going to be able now to have soccer starting in the spring. I think I wrote down that it was considered the spring season for children ages 2 through 8. It's not costing the village anything. It's not costing the taxpayers anything. It is completely free. It's no more work for the village or Yvonne. It is awesome, and that's just a perfect example of how someone in the community can stand up and can partner with council and the village to get things done. So I just wanted to thank you, Courtney, for stepping in and taking that initiative and doing that. I know that my daughter will benefit from that. And they're also They are always looking for great individuals to hire as well. So that can even be an employment opportunity for some extra cash for possibly an olderish teen in the village, definitely for moms or dads. So you can go to their website. They already have us listed as a location. And it'll be nice and an activity for us to be able to go and watch even if we don't have a child playing. So really excited about that. And then I think the only last thing I have is for, also with Harvest Fest, which is October 25th, we are still looking for vendors. So again, back to that talent, back to the village. If there is anyone that would be interested, you can reach out to the village if you would be interested in being a vendor, or if you have an idea or there's something that you would like to do that you think might be fitting. And then let me just go to my update with Dana, sorry, from Waycross. I had it up and I must have, there it is. So Dana's update is just that the Waycross election forums will be broadcast live on cable and online next week. The Winton Woods Board of Education forum will be Monday at 8 p.m. The Greenhills Council forum will be Tuesday at 6 p.m. Waycross has hosted these live forums since 1987 to make sure that residents have access to their local candidates. For a full schedule and more details, check the Facebook event on the Waycross Facebook page. Waycross fall sport coverage is in full swing now that school is in session. They can always use lots of volunteers, again, ages 13 and up, grown-ups, retirees, etc. For details or to sign up, go to www.waycross.tv/volunteers. And other recent Waycross program residents might want to check out are a new county fair program that highlights a Hamilton County home repair loan program, a short 4-minute video recorded inside the empty Forest Fair Mall with some details about what's coming next, and a Winton Woods program about the district's new Boys and Girls Club partnership. And that is all of my updates except for Soccer Shots is going to have a free fun day in November. Once she gets more information to us, we will share that with everyone. So thank you.
Also, just a point of interest, Say Soccer started in Greenhills, if I'm not mistaken.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's exciting. Cool beans.
Okay, any other questions, comments? All right, moving on, Service and Streets, Melanie Hermes.
I just wanted to report that the 2025 leaf collection is scheduled to begin on Monday, October 6th. The leaf trucks begin at 7 a.m. on Monday mornings. Leaf trucks make one pass per week only, loose leaves only, no branches or brush. The planned schedule for 2025 leaf pickup is weather permitting. Basically, it's going to be weekly starting 10/6 all the way through 12/1. The trucks again, only make one pass per street, so have it out on Monday, but they will be, if they don't hit your street on Monday, they will be continuing their route through Thursday most of the time. No loose leaves will be picked up after December 4th. Some important reminders: do not rake leaves into the street or storm sewers as it causes flooding and can be dangerous for bicycles and motorcycles. Raked leaves must be in between the street and sidewalk for the leaf truck to be able to pick it up. Do not rake twigs, branches, rocks, bottles, litter, or paper in with leaves. Mixed piles will not be picked up as these items can clog and damage the leaf machine, causing considerable delay to leaf collection. Avoid parking in front of large piles of leaves. It is difficult for the crew to work around parked cars and slows leaf collection. Situate leaf piles away from trees, signposts, and hydrants in order to speed collection. Alternatively, Rumpke will pick up bagged leaves with normal garbage pickup. Please note that periodically the leaf truck will need to take a full load of leaves back to the service facility to empty the collection. It will then return to the same location to resume collection.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay. And do we still sell, deliver compost?
Yes.
So once those leaves get picked up and rotted down, they're great to take back. All right, next, Finance and Audit, Jack Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council, at your places tonight is the general fund recap for the month of August. You will note that the income tax revenues for the month of August is continuing the trend of leveling out to the new realities as far as employment within the village, so that's good to see. However, the county did move the real estate semi-annual from August to September, and that distribution has already occurred, but it's not reflected in the August report. The fund balance at the end of August was $2,471,532.51. The expenses are noted on the right-hand side of the page. Currently, they've expended 35% of the appropriated amounts for the year. There are no new transfers. There were transfers made that we voted on last month, but there are no new transfers from the general fund in the offering. Though I do have a couple resolutions to discuss here later, but that's the end of my report unless anyone has any questions.
Safety, Jeff Halter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We did not meet. We were set to meet given all the incidents with our incident with the dangerous dog that we wish didn't happen at all, but had to face. Once we found out that the work session was going to have the same topics that we were going to have in safety, we just had a work session. And I do want to say, all the time I've been on council, I felt it was one of the most productive roll-up-your-sleeves incidents, our work sessions that we've had. I think that we really, I don't think debated is the right way to put it, but I think we learned a lot of, got a lot of information, and it resulted in the changes that you're seeing in the legislation today. We are for dogs. We love dogs. Many of us are dog owners, and we understand there's certain things that upset dogs and other times it doesn't. So, but when a dog has been deemed a dangerous dog, we need to take steps to protect our community so that they can walk freely on the streets. And one thing I'm especially glad to see is the fact that if a dog is declared dangerous, that we ask the question about muzzling them. It's a lot easier to deal with a dangerous dog if it's muzzled than not, so I'm glad that's incorporated. The other thing I want to do is commend Steve Denny and the Winton Woods School Board for their willingness to put officers at the school locations. That's not a small investment. I'm sure there's other people involved that I'm not aware of, but that's really saying a lot. I've worked with Steve Denny's been part of Winton Woods for a long time, and I've worked with him at various times for different events, and I tell you, he's really got a heart for the community and for kids, and he's also one that puts practical steps in place to keep them safe. So commend everybody involved, including the chief. That concludes my report.
Mayor, can I add to that one quick second? Just to piggyback off of that, as far as Steve Denny goes, they've had an SRO, they've had an officer at South Campus since day one. So it's been an off-duty detail that our officers are actually working that detail, if not. So that just goes to show you their commitment up until we get these in place, that they've had that in place. So for that, we're appreciative.
Thank you.
Okay, Intergovernmental Affairs, Laws and Rules, and Maria Walther.
Yeah, we had a meeting together with the Community Development on September the 9th, and our next meeting is October the 14th. And under the laws and rules, I have the contact with our representative in Columbus or in DC, and I'm trying to get them for the Veterans opening ground, the big day there, and so forth. And if not, certainly for the picnic time that we're going to have for the celebration of the 250th. I also like to bring to the forehead, and I'm going to say this now because you mentioned this. You know how against I am about emergency clauses, and today I really want to have an emergency clause on the ordinance for the dangerous dogs, if I may. Okay. And that concludes my report.
Can I add something? Maria, this is for you. I don't know, I'm just gonna throw this out here, but since I'm involved in some veteran stuff, it might be beneficial to consider reaching out to like the VA or veteran service offices to see if they can be present for our picnic too, because a lot of veterans aren't connected to, don't have the benefits that they could be reaping. And so to have a representative there that could see if they are signed up or if they want to, that would be beneficial and something that they do for free if they're available.
There's a representative from those entities whenever we have an auxiliary meeting present, or when the veterans they also have somebody there present from those areas. And they participate in many of those things that they have as well. So they have a direct connect with that.
So you think that they,
They would be informed of that, yes.
of the 250th?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay. All right, moving on. It's an opportunity for residents and non-residents to make comments solely regarding legislation that's on the current agenda. Non-residents must obtain prior permission. This is the time for citizens to comment on legislation listed on the agenda for this session of council. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, complete the sign-in sheet, verbally indicate if you're a resident of Greenhills or a non-resident. Nobody, non-residents asked to speak. Then state your comments. Comments will be limited to 4 minutes.
Monique Mason-Halter, Greenhills resident. I'd like to talk about the ordinance and resolutions being voted on tonight. As we know, people have the right to speak for 4 minutes right now about these resolutions and ordinance. I have been at past council meetings and work sessions, so I have witnessed council members discussing these resolutions and ordinance and why you introduced them. Because council meetings are videotaped, citizens who have not attended council meetings in person have the opportunity to view discussions on these resolutions and ordinance on Waycross TV. However, Waycross doesn't videotape the work sessions, so those who don't attend them, the work sessions, have not been able to view your discussions on these resolutions. For example, they may not know that at the work session a couple weeks ago, you spent over an hour discussing this dog ordinance. Anyway, not videotaping or recording in some way the council work sessions, I feel, is a disadvantage to everyone. Council members are especially at a disadvantage because citizens have not been able to view your work session discussions on these resolutions and the ordinance, and now many don't understand why you have made these resolutions that you will vote on tonight, as well as the ordinance. I hope council will consider recording work sessions from now on so that citizens have the opportunity to view all of your discussions. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm Cindy Combrink. I live at 38 Alona. I guess my question on the dangerous dog ordinance, and I'm just now getting a look at this, like, so in Greenhills, who will decide that it's a dangerous dog?
The chief.
Chief, aren't we gonna try to refer them downtown when we need to?
Right, we will try to the dog warden, but I believe the way it's written that the mayor, or I mean, Levon or myself could deem it dangerous.
Could deem it dangerous. And then my next question is, like with our incident, we had the dog, you know, I don't know the status of the dog now, but I know for weeks after, it was still left at the home. And it even took a while that, no one from the dog warden ever came to talk to us or someone called just to say someone would be investigating, but then nobody ever did. So the dog was there. We finally did get a letter from the health department weeks later saying that the dog had been quarantined and it was okay. My husband would have died of rabies by then, by the time we got that. So I guess my question is, so if you guys can deem it dangerous, then what's going to happen with the dogs? Because I feel like if they're deemed dangerous, they should be out of the community at least until all the things they have to do are fixed.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It was deemed dangerous by the dog warden when he went out there and cited him for failure to register the dog, and he deemed it dangerous. At that time, and we kind of discussed this at the work session, at that time he's got 30 days, the dog owner has 30 days to actually come in compliance with a dangerous dog. So there's certain things that they have to meet, requirements that they have to meet, as far as the fencing has to be adequate, signs posted and so forth. After that 30 days, they have 10 days to appeal that dangerous dog ordinance that they were cited on. It's administrative. It's not a criminal action. It's an administrative action that the dog warden put on them. Just like ours would be if we did, it would be administrative. They got 10 days to appeal that designation of a dangerous dog. After that time, they have 30 days to come in compliance with all the ordinances, all the requirements that they have to have. But the dog does not leave the residence unless the owner deems that they don't want the dog anymore. This particular owner also has a residence in Fairfield, so they also have to report to Butler County that this has been designated through Hamilton County, dangerous dog, and would have to also do the same things over at the residence over in Fairfield. So I know as far as the court case goes and the fail to confine the dog, I believe the court case is the 24th, which is in a couple days. And then he took care of the fail to register.
Okay.
And I know he wanted to take care of the fail to confine, but he had to appear in court.
Okay, I guess I'm confused. So I thought the arraignment was on the 24th, and I thought that, so it's already, so someone, the dog warden or you guys, can deem it a dangerous dog.
Correct.
I'm talking about in the future.
In the
And
future.
then, once it's deemed a dangerous dog, they have to follow all the things that you have in the ordinance here. So what's the part about court? They don't?
I'm talking about the citation he received for failing to confine the dog the day of the incident.
Okay.
Yeah.
So already the dangerous dog ordinance is in effect for our incident?
Correct.
So he only had, because it's been a month. I mean, we have these meetings once a month. We were here last month, so it's been that long.
Correct. I
And
can't
he's still-
tell you the exact date that,
I want to clarify something because I think there's two different dangerous dog topics. One is Hamilton County, and then there's this that we have not, it is not officially
not.
law in this form
Okay.
yet. Is
So
that
Hamilton
correct?
County, I mean, it's been more than 30 days, so that's.
no, I can't speak to the fact of 30 days, if that's from the time that he actually issued the administrative order from that day, which I believe was maybe September 8th, if I recall, which would give till October 8th to come in compliance with all the things that he has to do.
Okay, because I just wondered, because there's still, it looks like it's lattice that's leaning. It doesn't look like a.
Correct. He did advise us he would go out on the 31st day, and naturally, we'll follow up and make sure he does on his administrative order, that he'll go out there on the 31st day and verify he's in compliance with what he needs to do as far as having a
And they can't just
dangerous
move the dog to another house and move it back and forth. He has to do it at, if people have more than one property, they have to do it at the other.
He would have to
property, too.
register that in Fairfield,
Too.
in Butler County, too.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
Okay, thanks.
So we don't have to wait the 30 minutes to put this in effect. That's why I'm putting the emergency clause on it, so it will be effect immediately.
Okay, well,
And we do have a dangerous dogs on our books. This is us updating our, we do have dangerous dogs. It's just, this is updating that ordinance to make it a little bit more
We're making it more
strong.
punitive.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, I guess it has in here the definition, what they have to do to be decided that it's a dangerous dog.
Yeah, and you probably don't have all of that in front of you. I think we just attached where the changes are being made.
Just to clarify, Jeff,
Okay.
what we do, the changes we're making now would not apply to this situation.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Good evening. My name is Pat Andron, and I am a resident. I live at 32 Chalmers Lane. I was going to comment basically on financial aspects, but because of the dog thing, I thought I'd mention. I was bit by a dog when I was going door to door. This has been a while back. But anyhow, I realized that I was at this dog's door. He jumped on the door. It wasn't latched. He bit me. Okay. I felt like I was in his space, so I just merely said to the owners, could you give me proof that he's had his rabies shot? And I didn't know, is there anything in it, any of this, that this dangerous dog or whatever, that people have to have dogs with rabies shots? So that's just, I didn't know if that was in any of your thing.
I don't, if I can speak on that, I don't believe it's any of the language, but if you reported that to us, then we would actually take a report that's sent on to the Board of Health, that there was a dog bite report, this individual, and then they would contact, we do that with all dog bite reports. And then the Board of Health would contact the owner to tell them it needs to be quarantined to make sure it doesn't have rabies.
Okay, but in this case, it was a friendly relationship. I felt like I was in this dog space, and I just I spoke to the owner, can you send me a copy of this? And they did. So it resolved it, but I didn't know if that was addressed in any of the things.
Isn't that in, that's already built in, right? They are required to have a rabies shot, isn't that correct?
They might have to prove it to the court, but
No, I'm talking about all dogs are required to have a rabies shot. So
They're supposed to.
No, I understand, but also people are supposed to have car insurance too, so I know how that works.
Okay, so then the other things I wanted to, what I did want to comment on was the fact that the budget things, I really think that we need to have, be using the unified network of accounting that the state offers, that's important. And then also on your resolution for having a loan, this is incredibly vague in terms of it doesn't say not to exceed any certain amount. It doesn't say how much money you're borrowing. This is like an open check. If you read it, it just says that you're giving permission for them to get a loan at a financial institution, not stating that it's not to exceed $10 million, $5 million, $500, whatever it is. This document is not in the best interest of this community because you could do whatever you want.
The document's related to Malloy's renovation project, which has the figure in it.
And was approved
But
at a
if you're going to sign something that says this loan is going to be available, you need to have a not to exceed information clause in there. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, moving on. No unfinished business, new business. We have an ordinance 2025. Is that 0 or is that O?
Ordinance 03.
O03-LNR, amending various sections of Chapter 505 of the Village of Greenhills Codified Ordinances regarding dangerous dogs. Ms. Walther.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance 2025-003-LNR, and I would like to put an emergency clause on this ordinance, amending various sections of Chapter 505 of the Village of Greenhills Codified Ordinances regarding dangerous dogs.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Maria. Don't we have to do the emergency clause first and then, or it doesn't matter?
There's a whole bunch of things we will have to do.
Yeah.
In order to adopt this as an emergency.
Okay.
You can read it first, and then
Okay.
we'll walk through all the
Okay.
steps
Yeah.
to do this.
Whereas Chapter 505 of the Codified Ordinance regulates animals and fowl, and whereas council has determined that it is in the best interest of the village to amend certain regulations related to dogs running at large and dangerous dogs, now therefore be it ordained by the council of the village of Greenhills, Ohio, members elected thereto concurring, Section 1, that Section 505-01, 505, 021, 505, 0211, and 505, 023 of the Village of Greenhills Codified Ordinances shall be amended and set forth in Exhibit A, attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference. All other provisions of Chapter 505 not specifically amended herein shall remain in full force and effect. Section 2, that this ordinance shall be effective from and after the earliest period allowed by law. Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt this ordinance.
If you would like to act on it as an emergency tonight, the first step that you would do is to entertain a motion to amend the ordinance to add the emergency clause.
Okay, I would like to amend this ordinance, a motion to amend this ordinance to make it with an emergency clause at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
You need a
And you
second.
need a second.
Second it?
Okay. Clerk, poll the council.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Hudson?
Aye.
Mr. Borner?
Aye.
And Ms. Walker? Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Emergency clause is being inserted.
So the emergency clause has been added. Now, pursuant to the charter, ordinances typically have to be read 2 times on 2 separate days. So if you'd like to adopt it tonight,
Yes.
a motion would be in order to suspend the rule requiring a reading 2 times on 2 separate occasions.
I make a motion to dispense the 2 readings at 2 different times and 2 separate occasions at this time, so it would be
So that could be
immediately submitted
adopted.
to
It would be
effective
adopted after
immediately.
1 reading.
Yes.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Clerk, poll the council.
Ms. Walker? Aye. Mr. Borner?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Ms. Hudson?
Aye.
Mr. Holter?
Aye.
Okay,
Now I move that we have
motion
seconded.
carries.
Motion carries, and then we're going to make sure that it's in full effect.
Now would be appropriate to entertain a motion to adopt as amended.
I make a motion now to adopt this as
As amended.
effective as today, yes.
Second the motion.
Okay. Any comments or questions? All right, hearing none, the clerk poll the council.
Ms. Hudson?
Aye.
Mr. Borner?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Mr. Holter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
And Ms. Walker? Aye.
Okay, motion, ordinance 2025-003-LNR passes. Next is the resolution number 2025-R19-F, accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 2025-R19-F, resolution accepting the amounts and rates determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Whereas the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, in accordance with the provisions of law, had previously adopted a tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year commencing January 1, 2026. Whereas the Budget Commission of Hamilton County, Ohio has certified its action thereon to this council, there together with an estimate by the county auditor of the rate of each tax necessary to be levied by this council, and what part thereof is without and what part within the 10 mil tax limitations. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1, that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and its certification be and the same are hereby accepted. Section 2, that there be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said village the rate of each tax necessary to be levied within and without the 10 mil limitations as contained in Exhibit A attached hereto and made part of the resolution. Section 3, that this resolution shall be in full force and take effect from and after its passage. Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
As you'll note, the letter from the county auditor, Jessica Miranda, is dated August 25th, recognizes that the proposed renewal that would be on the November ballot with passage would generate $36,579, which is nearly equal to the, well, it is equal to the existing amount, so there's no increase in tax.
Okay, clerk poll the council.
Mr. Holter.
Aye.
Mr. Warner.
Aye.
Mr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Hermes.
Aye.
Ms. Walker.
Aye.
Ms. Hudson.
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 2025-R19-F passes. Next resolution number 2025-R20-S&S, authorizing assessments on certain properties in the village of Greenhills.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution number 2025-R20 S&S, resolution authorizing assessments on certain properties in the village of Greenhills. Whereas the village has given proper notice to the owners of certain real property in the village of Greenhills regarding the removal of vegetation, refuse, garbage, and/or debris from the properties listed below. And whereas the owners of said properties did not take action to remedy the violations, and therefore the village of Greenhills contracted to remove vegetation, refuse, garbage, and/or debris, and now seeks to collect said expenses by authorizing the placement of a lien upon the lands and collected as other taxes. Now, therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1, that the Village Council hereby certifies that the costs of such labor, together with the expenses relative thereto, be filed on the return and statement to the Hamilton County Commissioners as an assessment against the properties listed and placed as a lien against the properties by the Auditor of Hamilton County, Ohio, as follows. Parcel number 597-0080-022500, address 26 Burley Circle, owner Burley Circle Properties LLC, cost $88.33. Parcel number 597-0060-012600, address 19 Cromwell Road, owner VB1 LLC, cost $268.85. Parcel number 597-0070-0071-90, 23/25 Andover Road. Owner Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority, cost $103.45. Parcel number 597-0010-003000, address 385 Ingram Road. Owner Raymond Kahn, cost $423.05. Parcel number 597-0080-000400, address 3 Beckford Drive. Owner Robert Carter, cost $268.85. Parcel number 597-0031-0075, address 41 Handle Lane. Owner Jana F. Landrum, cost $320.96, for a total cost of $1,473.46. Section 2, all amounts collected as a result of this resolution shall be placed into the general fund of the Village of Greenhills. Section 3, this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage. Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
And I second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any comments? I'll make one comment. Property at 19 Cromwell Road's owned by a company that probably owns a dozen places in Greenhills. And I think they're probably one of the largest property owners in Hamilton County now. They're an investment company that buys houses up and rents them out. And so we've had
And they don't take
issues.
care of them.
And they don't take care of them, and we've had issues with them before. Okay. Clerk, poll the council.
Ms. Hudson?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Holter?
Aye.
Mr. Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 2025-R20-S&S passes. Next resolution number 2025-R21-F, authorizing the municipal manager to execute loan documents related to Molloy's renovation project. Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 2025-R21-F, authorizing the municipal manager to execute loan documents related to the Molloy's renovation project. Whereas the village has previously authorized entering into a contract to perform certain improvements related to the Molloy's renovation project, and whereas in order to finance the renovation project, the village has qualified for and obtained a loan from a financial institution, and whereas council now desires to authorize the municipal manager to execute said loan documents as part of said project. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the council of the village, Greenhills, Ohio, members elected thereto concurring. Section 1, that the municipal manager is hereby authorized to execute loan documents regarding the financing of a contract to perform certain improvements related to the Molloy's renovation project. Section 2, that the finance director is hereby authorized to execute any documents related to the loan as may be required. Section 3, that the municipal manager and the finance director are further authorized to take any or all necessary actions to complete the loan process. Section 4, that this resolution shall take effect and be in full force immediately upon its adoption. Mr. Mayor, I move for the acceptance of this resolution.
Second.
Been
Second.
Moved and seconded. You second?
Yes.
Okay. Any comments or questions?
If I may, the contract to do the renovation was $470,000
You approved,
roughly.
I think, at just your last meeting.
And part of that contract also stated that there were the possibility of change orders that would come up should additional things come up, which I understand is the reason for having the
Line of credit.
line of credit available.
Right.
So, it's not that we're raising the price to.
No, and I think council's been aware of it. We've talked about it at a number of meetings, and yeah, you took official action.
All right. I just, I heard some
Right.
things
Well,
stated, and I wanted to make
just
sure
one-
that got out there, so.
One other clarification, it's not just that it's talked about, it's documented. This refers to a document that is an
Correct.
agreement.
Right, yep.
So,
I have a couple questions. One, just for clarification, because I know this working in real estate, a line of credit, even if we end up having to utilize more, we are not charged until we actually borrow those funds, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. And then my other question, just for this is something that's actually clarification for me, because as a former mortgage lender and now a realtor, when I'm talking to clients and I'm telling them, to get pre-qualified and to do all their paperwork with a financial institution, I will recommend 3 different ones for them to go to. So how do we decide, and I'm sure this might be a question for residents, how do we decide what financial institution we're going to go with in the terms? Is that a similar bidding process as how we find our contractors, or what does the village do for that?
No, not really. Do you want to deal with that, Deb, or do you want me to just say what our process was?
You can go ahead.
Sure. Obviously, we started with our bank that we do banking with.
Makes sense.
I will just say they were not very responsive, and we knew we had a pretty tight timeline.
Okay.
So we have had some previous experience with First Financial. They were very receptive, very quick. You know, we didn't even know what our amount was until we took our bids, when you guys passed the legislation to approve the bids and the project. So we needed to be fast, and unfortunately, our bank wasn't moving fast. So that's how we ended up.
That's okay. I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Clerk poll the council.
Mr. Reed,
Aye.
Ms. Hudson,
Aye.
Mr. Warner,
Aye.
Mr. Halter,
Aye.
Ms. Hermes,
Aye.
Ms. Swafford.
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 2025-R21-F passes. And I'd like somebody to do a motion to appoint Rachel Hudson as the village's liaison with the Winton School District.
I'd like to make a, or should that happen? Who's co? I'd like to make a motion that Rachel Hudson is appointed to the Winton Woods, what's the official title?
Village liaison.
Village liaison to Winton Woods
It's their school district.
School District. Thank you.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. You're there. You want to mention that?
Sure, because the next item on the agenda it's informational only, but at the last meeting of the Planning Commission, the commission did make a motion to let council know that an amendment to the text is in the works, and they will be conducting their public hearing on October 13th at 6 p.m. here in council chambers. And it regards the review of applications for their certificate of appropriateness within the historic district. So,
What is the date again?
October 13th, it's a Monday,
Okay.
6 p.m.
It's on there.
6 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. All right, council comments? Anything to add?
I just want a clarification. So, talked about the Harvest Fest, but also with the soccer shots. I wanted to clarify, so there's no misinformation. It is not free for the children to participate, but it's free for the village to have soccer shots here. So it's not costing any money for that partnership. But the children, the parents have a sign-up fee just like with any other sport. So, thank you.
Jack, you got anything?
I just want to thank you for the photos that you gave to us tonight. You know, it was a difficult situation for you to come here a month ago, and you know, we were sad to hear Teddy's passing later on, and you know, I wish it didn't happen, and I know you do too. So we'll do our best.
Maria, you got anything?
No, sir.
Nope.
Okay, moving on, municipal calendar.
Planning Commission, the 13th.
Right, and we have community development and law on the 14th.
Over the 14th.
Right.
Then this Saturday, 10:30 a.m. meeting here for the America 250 Committee.
Then Harvest Fest on the 25th.
Could you speak up for the hearing now, what dates you talking about?
Harvest Fest on the 25th of October.
And the other dates that were mentioned?
There's a planning commission on the 13th at 6 p.m. There is a community development meeting at 5:30 p.m. on the 14th. 6 p.m. a law committee, followed by the work session.
Yeah, 250.
Oh, yes, the America 250 meeting at, that's this Saturday, the 27th at 10:30. Here in this room.
And when do the leaves start again, Melanie?
6th.
The 6th.
First week in October. Get everything, get your leaves out on Monday. It'll only go round once per week.
The leaves are really starting to come down.
Right. Okay, this is an opportunity for residents and non-residents to appear before council. Before council, non-residents must obtain prior permission. This is time for citizens to comment on matters before council. When recognized, come forward to the podium, complete the sign-in sheet, verbally indicate if you're a resident of Greenhills, and state your comments. If you have questions, questions will be recorded and referred to the manager's office for response. This will allow time for thoughtful and thorough consideration to be given to each question. Council meetings are recorded for the ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 4 minutes. Speakers may not yield any or all of their time to other speakers.
Hi, I'm Linda Turner. I'm a resident. And what I wanted to bring up to the council tonight is, number one, I appreciate how you fixed some of the sidewalks and grinded those off a couple years ago. That's really improved the safety of the sidewalks. There's still a few places that are very much lifted up from the trees, of course, and there's cones there, so they're marked. What I wanted to bring up is on the walkthroughs between Embler and Ilona, and Ilona to Ireland, those have railroad ties that are supposedly holding back, the dirt on either side. The one between Ilona and Ireland, the top railroad tie is falling off into the walkway. So I hope that at some point you all have in the plans to fix those and do concrete like has been done between Junefield and Junedale. But
Okay.
if not, those railroads.
It's going to be done yet this year.
We
Oh,
actually have the
you do have that in the
bids
plans?
already.
Yes.
Great.
It'll be done the same way.
Okay,
Just
great.
like, yeah.
Because even if you didn't, I was just going to ask to take off that top railroad tie and remove it because it's falling over. So I
Right.
appreciate that. And then one more comment about just walkways. So there's a couple houses where you can't walk on their sidewalk because their bushes, at least I'm assuming they're the owner or the property's bushes, since they're on that, away from the street on the other side of the sidewalk, they're into the sidewalk and you cannot walk on the sidewalk. Is that the responsibility of the property owner? Is that the compliance officer that should be looking at things like that? How do I report that? Because I'm a short person and I'm ducking and weaving. Thought people would be wiped out.
Okay.
It is the property owner's responsibility, so yes, I'll tell code enforcement to keep an eye out for those things.
Okay, and I can provide some addresses if they need.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Patty and Ron, I already signed in earlier. I am a resident of 32 Chalmers Lane, and I'm a candidate for council this year. I guess my earlier comment was about finances. I do believe that our community should be using the same accounting network that is required by the state. It would help us follow our money, and it would help the auditors do the kind of in-depth reports so they can run their programs to identify where there's weaknesses. I also feel that we really need to consider having a performance audit because people are questioning over and over how high our taxes are. So I think we really have to take a hard look at starting to economize, and that would be one way to do it. There's a term that's called follow the money, and that term came about back in Nixon's days with Watergate and all the presidents then. That phrase is a guiding principle for investigative journalism and criminal investigation. It suggests to uncover corruption, wrongdoing, or the motive behind a crime, one should trace the movement of money. This can lead investigators to the most powerful and influential figures involved. Now, granted, this was Washington, D.C., this was Richard Nixon. This was back in the 70s. It's now 2025. I think it's important that every taxpayer in this community have confidence in where their money is going and how it's being spent. I pointed out just earlier, you're signing a contract or a resolution with no dollar amount and no not to exceed amount. That is totally, totally irresponsible. I can't believe that you didn't have an Exhibit A attached or you didn't have a not to exceed amount. Would you sign anything at your home with just an open amount? These are our dollars. These are our dollars that you're spending. You've got all new furniture here. You've got a whole new fancy desk here. You've got new furniture in the other rooms. We got people getting lump sum raises here and there. We've got 12% raises going out the door. It's, you know, we racked up $8.5 million worth of community development debt through councilmatic bonds. Where is this going to stop? People do not want to be paying more taxes. And if you guys can't get a handle on that, then something's really wrong. And I do believe you need to start looking very closely at these documents before you sign them. You should have a complete auditor's recommendation on how it is that you're supposed to be doing your finances. Because I've looked at many and many management letters where there's been recommendations from the auditors to change things. It doesn't get changed. I think it's certainly time for a complete performance audit on what you guys do with all of our money. Thank you.
And I mentioned that your $8 million is just an incorrect figure.
And could I comment on that?
Sure.
The fact is, we did pass a resolution with a specific dollar amount the prior month. This particular resolution was only to allow them to go ahead and...
Okay. Okay, you had your time to speak. Okay, next.
I actually just have a quick question.
Okay.
What is the accounting software we use?
We use it. We use it. It's UAN.
Don't we use the auditor's one?
Yeah.
We use the State of Ohio's
Accounting
Unified
software.
Accounting Net. We use the State of Ohio's accounting software.
Do your research, get your facts correct. You twist all sorts of things around, Miss Antoine.
We
Okay.
are definitely using it.
All right.
We know that she doesn't, we know that she doesn't care about
Next.
facts. so
Next.
It's irrelevant.
How would she even know?
So there's two documents, okay.
Monique, while that's going around, thanks for your comments earlier. I believe give credit where credit's due, so I appreciate you pointing that out.
Everybody? All right. Monique Mason-Halter, Greenhills resident. Thanks. As I've mentioned at past meetings, federal bills are being rushed through that will eliminate municipal control over the cell tower and wireless facilities installation. And the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, wants to ease municipal wireless and wireline infrastructure deployment permitting. I've provided you with printouts on these topics before and again tonight. With two articles tonight I'll be reading from. I'm asking you again that you contact our federal lawmakers with your concerns and file comments with the FCC. From the Inside Towers article, FCC plans vote on easing wireless wireline infrastructure deployment permitting. The FCC will begin its September 30th meeting by considering 2 proposals to reform permitting rules and accelerate wireline and wireless infrastructure builds. As part of the agency's Build America agenda, it has already advanced plans to ease access to utility poles and revamp the agency's approach to environmental reviews. One proposal is a notice of proposed rulemaking that seeks comments on reforms on protective state and local regulations. The agency also plans to vote on a notice of inquiry centering on Section 253 of the Communications Act, which bans state and local regulations that effectively prohibit infrastructure builds. The draft NOI seeks comments on topics such as delays when providers seek authorizations from state and local governments to access and use public rights-of-ways, and the general nature of right-of-way access fees. From the Defender article, cell tower developers lying about coverage gaps to push new towers, lawyer says. Cell tower developers often mislead residents and local officials by claiming new or taller towers are needed to fix coverage gaps, even when the FCC official map shows the area already has good coverage, said attorney Robert Berg. Wireless companies must prove a new tower is needed to fill a coverage gap. Companies often present their own RF propagation maps showing supposed gaps even when the coverage is already strong and capacity is sufficient. Federal law requires internet and telecom companies to submit reports to the FCC twice a year, specifying every location they serve down to individual street addresses. The wireless companies must map their coverage areas and attest that upload and download speeds meet its broadband criteria. Berg said, if you compare the carrier's map to the FCC national broadband map, you'll oftentimes see that on the broadband map, there is 100% coverage for that carrier in that neighborhood where the carrier is saying there is no coverage or not sufficient coverage. I hope you will consider all this. Contact our lawmakers as well as the FCC, and thank you again for writing a letter to the FCC asking that the agency comply with a 2021 court order to update the wireless radiation guidelines. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Lisa Knack, Greenhills residents. 2 things. One, I would ask that you guys check the positioning of your microphones and speak up. You were doing great for a while. We've lost the volume again. So I would appreciate that. And then I just want to reinforce, please consider raising your hand and joining us as a volunteer for some of or all of the America 250 celebrations. The old adage, it takes a village, and guess what? We are the village. So would appreciate you stepping up.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
That's it. Meeting at,
Wait a minute.
what?
Is anybody else wanting to speak? I thought somebody was starting to step up. Just want to make sure. Thank you.
Meeting adjourned.